Hello again, it's your friendly neighborhood host, JT Wheatley, back for another edition of the History of Comics podcast. This time another edition of the classics, following up with our Sin City series with Sin City, That Yellow Bastard. This was a 6-issue series that was released from February to July of 1996, in which Frank Miller now depicts Detective Harrigan, who, after stopping the son of a rich politician taking down, raping a young girl, finds himself framed and imprisoned, only to be suddenly released and stalked by a person he only can call the Yellow Bastard, as he appears as he just has a pure yellow color, and was otherwise a black and white story. This is a great classic story, with the classic crime noir feelings across the board. And Harrigan is a great hero. He's actually a true blue, trying to do the right thing, but gets forced into a bad situation. And the art is just gorgeous. I mean, there's not only the black and white shading, of course, but the use of the Yellow Bastard, who just, the way he's colored in this book, you just feel how dirty he is. You can just tell this is an evil, corrupt individual. And he's probably one of the best villains in all of Sin City, which says a lot because Sin City is filled with some really bad people. There are great villains, but you're glad to see their comeuppance in the end. And this series is no exception. And this is arguably the last great Sin City series, That Yellow Bastard. After that, he would do other series like The Hell and Back, which quite frankly went a bit too long and too out there. But artistically kind of interesting. And also his pencils got really loose at that point, which is Miller's biggest problem, is that when he's steady and stays down, he's great. But when his layouts get crazy, his art really, truly suffers. And one can argue, this is one of his last great series. Of course, 300 would be a few years later. But yeah, the last great Sin City series. This is a series because I will be coming back again, particularly with the upcoming season, for a single issue that is a true classic Sin City tale, but more on that later. But for now, if you're looking for a good comic book to read, check out Sin City, That Yellow Bastard, because that is a true classic.
Great things are coming on the Nerd Bliss podcast. We're changing up our presentation while keeping the candidness that you enjoy. We'll cover all your favorite shows and movies, with maybe a few surprises along the way. And you, yes you, will have opportunities to be on our show on a regular basis. That's right, we've got the Zoom Pro account, and we're going to use it. So be ready. Find us at nerdblisspodcast.com and esonetwork.com, and on all the socials at NerdBlissPod. Nerd Bliss. Listen up.
Now is November 24th, 2022. Time for the favorite comic of the week. Wind, Thrown in the Sky, number 2 by James Tynion IV and Michael Delanis. That once again finds Wind and his friends, which includes the Prince of the Human Kingdom, on the run for both the human kingdoms and the fairy kingdoms, who are on the verge of war with each other. This is once again another great issue in the fantasy series that expands the mythology, especially when you see the prince's uncle, the Duke, who, despite being captured, is already pulling political maneuvers, returning to things to his advantage, and making a pretty cool killer in his own right. While Wind and his people are expanded on further, as we learn there's apparently an ancient city with pictures of him in the ruins that depicts the larger destiny for him. Overall, this is a great fantasy series. Tynion IV has a great story, and Delanis' art is gorgeous. It's that right mix of cartoony, fantastical, and a nice bit of grittiness to it. There's some bad guys in here who do some pretty bad things. But yeah, all in all, just a fantastic new Jake in the fantasy genre. And yeah, if you're looking for a fun comic book to read, Wind, Thrown in the Sky, just the whole series in general is just a great read. And with that, of course, the date being today, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I am, of course, thankful for all the wonderful, great comic books and related material. Oh, yeah, and family and friends, too. Yeah, we could throw that in as well. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good turkey day, enjoying the Thanksgiving time with family and friends. And, of course, starting next week, of course, we're in my house starting tomorrow, we're full blast into the Christmas season. So, yeah, the holidays, we're transitioning for Halloween's over with, Thanksgiving's in today, and tomorrow we start with Christmas before we wrap up this whole year of 2022. So with that, once again, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're thankful for all the great comic books out there. If you're looking for a good one, check out Sin City, That Yellow Bastard, because that is a true classic.